Adventurers make plans. Worlds deal with the fallout. The folks at Good Plans, Bad Dice present a new live play podcast using the Dungeons & Dragons 2024 5e rules. We blend chaos, sincerity, dark moments, and inclusive storytelling. Welcome to the world of Good Plans, Bad Dice.
Previously on Fractured Fables, the party made it home safe, but sleep, not so much. Ami returns from a lovely tea date with Seymour, only to find her mother waiting inside the house. The reunion features harsh words, veiled threats, and Ami hovering dangerously close to a full rage spiral. Siddy hits emotional breakdown number 3 of the day, while doing her best to avoid explaining to Granny Tia why she's storing a suspicious body part in Tupperware. Granny heroically agrees not to look, but does put it on ice because, apparently, it smells. She also casually suggests Liam Hudson might be more than just a man, then refuses to elaborate. Helpful. Speaking of Liam, after leaving Everett with plans for dinner in hopes of unlocking her missing persona, Everett finds a message waiting in her bedroom. Written in blood. You've left the hounds all over the city. It's time to reclaim them. Meanwhile, Charlie watches Voltsy pass on after her murder and summons her mother for answers. She gets confirmation that her mother knows who did it, but refuses to say who. While cleaning up the aftermath with Morty, Charlie also learns a fun new family secret. Morty isn't a wizard. He's a bard, her mother killed and locked in the attic hundreds of years ago. And just when things couldn't possibly get stranger, there's a knock at the door. Find out what happens next on Fractured Fables.
Rain has officially begun to roll into the city. This feels like a rain that is predicting things to come. It is not quite cold enough for it to be snow, but this rain is so loud that you have to speak loudly to be heard over it. It hits your roof is almost as if you had a tin roof. We get this rain. Everywhere gets this rain. If you're from the South, if you're from the West Coast, that rain that comes in that is so loud and it beats on the windows, you're almost like hollering for people to hear you. It is this type of rain. If you look out your windows, you can see city streets are already kind of rolling with water as it moves through. There is no thunder, there is no lightning, but it just feels not like a rain that has come to wash the city clean, but a rain that has rolled in to prepare things. We now jump while the party are all in their own homes, dealing with different things, to another place as a man opens a door to disappear from the woman that he was just speaking to. Liam Hudson opens a door into what is a completely different world for everyone else here. He ends up in a place that is paved with old boardwalks and bricks and stones, a place that is more swamp and trees with Spanish moss dangling from them than any other type of thing you could imagine. It is humid here and it is warm, and his skin shows no reflection that the heat is affecting him. But if one were to be here, you would get more of the feeling that you were deep in the bayou than anywhere else. It is overgrown, earth runs rampant through here of various trees and vines, and you can hear animals moving throughout, and it feels like an almost untamed wild place that you enter. He walks up a pathway into what would be a colonial almost style house. I'm going to pull a 90s movie in hopes that Trekkie gets it. I'm thinking Brad Pitt's first house in New Orleans, Interview with the Vampire kind of look that you get, the large stone pillars, columns, things like that. If you don't get that weird, think of any Southern kind of pre-Civil War home. They're not the greatest homes that people lived in because the horrible things that were done there. That's not this type of place. It's just what it looks like. As he begins to walk, Liam begins to change. He whistles a tune and his cloak kind of absorbs into nothingness, and his suit goes from this professional business suit into where his skin begins to darken into a color that is almost so black that you would not be able to see him, and his hair begins to grow out and a top hat appears on his head. And over his insanely dark skin, it almost appears that a painted outline of a skeleton is on his face as he is there. And he walks through this wilderness up to the house to a woman waiting on the porch who is lounging in a very almost 1940s is what I'm kind of thinking, maybe 30s, like lounge look. She's got more of that going out to a bar than anything. And she's an insanely beautiful woman. If you've seen American Horror Story, I am pulling Angela Bassett from Coven, is where I'm going. If you haven't seen Coven, just her in general, just a very regal, beautiful woman. She is there kind of lounging on this porch swing, smoking a cigarette and like kind of one of those long filters, think the Audrey Hepburn thing, and drinking a drink. And she looks and she says, "Oh, brother darling, it has been so long. How have your adventures been? Have you finally stopped meddling in places that you're supposed to not be?" And he kind of looks and smiles and he says, "Right. You know that I'm not meddling. I am only fulfilling what I set out to fulfill. And I absolutely hate when you show up in my private plane to come bother me, sister. Why are you here?" And she looks and she says, "Rumblings have been being spread around many of the planes, brother. And these rumblings have mentioned that you've perhaps gotten in over your head with someone you shouldn't be. And I believe your well-meaning plans are going to fail, and you're going to set yourself up, and you're going to just pay for so much more. But again, I have warned you about this for many years. This woman has toyed with you." And he kind of, a cane appears from his hand that he slams down hard enough on the porch that the whole house shakes and like the ground moves. And as he looks at her, his eyes glow this white because his eyes are completely black, except he has like white irises and everything else is black. And they glow as he looks at her and he says, "Do not forget who is the more powerful of us, sister. When we were moved into different planes, one of us retained more than anyone else. And I might have spent hundreds of years in the earth and in my slumber, but that woman that you hate so much is the one who brought me out of it. And she is the one who is bringing me back. Now, I will continue doing what I said I was going to do. And if you don't enjoy it, I will make sure you do not benefit from any of the things that we have been working on." And she kind of chuckles and says, "Oh, brother, I always love when you're dramatic about things, shaking your house and acting all big and scary. Does that work on all the girls? It doesn't work on me because I have no fear of you. Remember, if you were to kill me, you would feel it just as much as I would, as you would lose piece of you, as we've always been connected. You with your, whatever you call this type of earthen magic, and me with my more wild places that I enjoy spending my time in." And as she gets up off the chair and goes up and gives him like a kiss on the cheek, like a sister kind of kiss on the cheek, and smiles at him and says, "Remember, darling, while you've been stuck here obsessed with bringing your plane to that world, there are other people doing the exact same thing. And are you moving quickly enough to stop it?" And he just kind of grinds his teeth and he's like, "We would have already been able to accomplish this had that fucking cataclysm not happened, and had I not have fucking lost her for so long." And she just kind of smiles and goes, "Oh, brother dear, if you weren't so obsessed with her and so convoluted in your ways, you might have found that she's been walking around for 5 fucking years sooner than you did. It's not my fault that you're a bit slow." And just kind of boops him on the nose. And then she smiles at him and she's like, "But don't worry, darling brother. As we all discussed and the agreements that have been made, it is time to recombine the planes and not give them back to those who are trying to pervert them. So I have sent my contingency plan to help your friends out." And she gives them a wink and she starts walking away, and her dress goes from that kind of like loungy looking like club dress, and it starts turning into something that looks so much more ethereal. And behind her, you kind of start seeing the shape of like wings that come out that look much more fairy-like as she goes, and her dress begins to kind of spiral into this very kind of pastel looking dress that is covered with flowers, and flowers begin to appear in her hair. And she says, "I do hope that you'll join court again, brother. We have missed you so much." And then she opens the door and just disappears. And as she walks away, the door shuts behind her. And Liam kind of just looks up at the sky and is just like, "I fucking hate court politics." And with that, we will jump back to our party. And as I believe we have 4 people and 4 different places, because the party knows not that this just happened, I'm going to roll a d4. We're going to do a Ami number 1, Everett number 2, Siddy number 3, and Charlie number 4, based off of how I see you. That is a... Oh, I'm mostly blind. That is a number 3. We are going to start with Siddy. So if you kick me back, you already kicked me back over when I did that little thing, right? Okay. I was like, shit, I hope I didn't do that without, So we're going to jump over to Siddy. Siddy, you are, I'm going to be honest with you, exhausted. You don't mechanically have exhaustion or anything like that, but excuse me, it has been a day. Granny Tia did make sure you were fed. She got you your new cast iron. You have this nice new necklace. You are in your pajamas, everything like that, but you are home. And this is also around the point in time that kind of Ami took. If you were to look outside and be able to see the moon, you would know that time is running shorter to where you'll get your long rest in. But you too have heard this rain come down, and even through your cozy cottage with the fire burning and everything, you can feel like a cold trying to make its way into the house, if that makes sense. Like it's just one of those weather things that doesn't make sense. What is Siddy doing in this moment?
She is cramped in her bed because despite Grandma Tia's trying, the cottage still is very small. So her bedroom is very small. So the bed is like pretty much, she's 6 foot and it's wedged in there. So her feet are like right against head to tail. She's in there. She tried to do her pretty much her Bible study, and that's sitting on her little desk. And she's trying to like, okay, I'll calm down. I'll calm down. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So she pulls out her little spicy novel called One Night with a Shifter, and she wants to try and get her mind off of things. And it's like, I'm fine.
Can I just interrupt you? Will you please just take inspiration for that? Because I just laughed so hard that I got tears in my eyes. That's fucking amazing. One Night with a Shifter. Holy shit. I love that. And please continue. Sorry.
She can't concentrate on that either. So she's like, I gotta talk to somebody. I gotta call somebody. But who do I call? Do I call Ami? No, I should not call Ami. I need a little bit more of an adult conversation with this. Okay. What about Charlie? Maybe Charlie? Or Everett. But Everett might be corrupted because she went off with that Liam fellow. And I really don't like that Liam fellow. Oh boy. And so she just starts randomly rubbing her sending stone, and she's like, whoever picks up is who I'm going to talk to. So we could
is it going to be one of the gals?
It's going to
you're calling?
It's going to be either
other people in there.
At this rate, there are other people in there too. So she's just like, hello?
Am I picking who you randomly call, or is that what you want me to do, or do you want to have a role for who you call?
I want you to randomly pick who I'm talking to.
Fuck, I don't even know who all you have in your Motorola sending stone. Did you add Julian Sterling's number in there?
She's working on that one.
So it's not in there yet. So we ruled out Julian Sterling as an option for who you call, just to clarify, right?
Yeah, I think it's mostly going to be a toss-up between Everett and Charlie. Because what she's stressing about, they're the only two that could actually know about.
All right. I'm going to put 4 options in this sending stone, and I'm not going to tell you who they are. 2 will be Everett and Charlie. 1 will not be Ami. There are 2 random options that I will put in there, and I will see what I roll on the D4. 1 for Everett, 2 for Charlie, 3 for someone, 4 for someone else. You hear, right, hello. It is awfully late to be calling me, Miss Obsidian. How can I help you? Are you in prison? Did your whole party end up in prison?
No. I'm not in prison. Squishy wants to know.
Give me a moment, please. Just give me one moment, please. Just 1 second. And you hear a knock at your window.
She's kind of like, ah! She slowly turns and opens it. I really
and in front of you is standing Liam Hudson back in a very immaculate suit. It is yet a different suit again. And the weirdest thing is like the rain is not hitting him. Maybe the roof goes out a certain way. And he looks through the window and he says, "Are you in danger? Is that why you called me? You would not call me for any other reason. Do I need to sneak you and Granny Tia out of here? Are you in danger in this house? Whisper quietly, please. If you're in danger, don't yell."
Did you put your number in my phone?
I put my number in all of your phones. How the fuck else are you going to reach your attorney if you don't have my number? Do you know what time it is? Are you okay? You're in your pajamas. Did someone break in? Is this an emergency and you're too worried to call the SWU? They're assholes, but they would help.
This was more of a case I needed somebody to talk to about the little present that your professor gave me. And I was hoping to do a flip between Charlie and Everett. And I didn't even pick your number. I don't know how your number got picked.
I don't know either, but I didn't do it. Give me 1 second, please. And he just like claps his hands. And then you find yourself and Liam Hudson in a very nice living room. And you're sitting in a very comfortable chair. I think Beauty and the Beast in front of the fireplace. Like there's a massive library around everything. And there's a table in between the two of you with like snacks. Things that are very Midwestern themed, like really nice looking crullers, but there's also like macarons and macaroons. There's both. There's tea, there's coffee, there's water, and he's sitting there and you are in your pajamas, but in a much like nicer version of them that make you feel that you're not risking like a robe falling open and showing legs. So instead of like the knee length muumuu, you've kind of gone into that like Scarlett O'Hara, like full length gown with like the 1940s full length like robe and stuff. And your hair is no longer in curlers, but it's just going to like, it just looks perfect. And you sit there and he's like, right. I figured it was a bit nicer in here and I don't enjoy the rain very much. I'm not opposed to the rain, but I didn't want to stand outside of your window and have your grandmother think that I'm doing something unjust or keeping in on you. I have respect for her. Now, how can I help you? I'm not who you called, but I'm also not the worst person of all time. So would you like some coffee or some tea? I also have treats that I think you might enjoy. They're not poisoned. I can take a bite out of every one if you want first, if you still don't trust me.
Well, Everett trusts you, and I trust Everett. I would
does like a head. He does like a back and forth, and he gets up and actually pours you tea. He'll ask you what kind you want of tea first. He'll be like, any flavor I've got.
Do you have sleepy time?
I do actually. I make it myself. Please do not share this with anyone, as I would be very offended, but I grow all of my own fruits, vegetables, and herbs myself. I like to garden in my spare time. It is how I relieve my stress. And so he will like kind of take the tea, the loose leaf, and like stick it in one of the steepers inside the teapot and be like, it'll take just a few minutes to steep and then we can both have it. It is what I use before bed as well. Now, as for Everett trusts me as much as she's able to. Because Everett doesn't remember me. She's known me for longer than she realizes, but Everett's missing part of a memory. So her trust with me is very tentative, and her relationship with me, I believe, in her mind is an exploration in what she can learn from me versus her actually wanting to be around me. So I will say, just between us gals right now, if you will, I would think that don't doubt your friend very much, as Everett might be a quiet one, but she's probably less trusting than the majority of you are. Honestly. Now tell me what is wrong and how I can help you feel better. Again, I know I'm brash. That's because I'm tired. All the time. It has been a long existence, if you will. So I know you all had a rough day. I almost would have traded you because I don't know if you have met Ami's mother, but she is horrible. And I had to spend a lot of my day with her and at the courts and chasing people. This is not about me. I'm sorry. I'm being selfish. Please tell me what I can help you with. Obsidian.
Well, I definitely don't think Ami's mother would enjoy the hot pots that my Granny Tia tends to make. I am recovering from the bombardment of stress that is now fallen upon my plate. I understand that our group can be a bit rowdy, and we have given you our fair share of grief. And in turn, we must now break into the university with a severed man's hand and to find all his notes in his hidden office. Meanwhile, we have to somehow get in there without being seen by people we don't know are there. So I'm just a little bit stressed out about this, which is why I was trying to call anyone, hopefully one of the people that is in the same predicament so that I could actually have an honest conversation with them. Now that I've had a chance to, have some tea and reflect on the day, is there anything you would like us to know to help move along our little mission? Now that I'm not threatening to hit somebody with the frying pan with that whole telepathy thing you have. That is quite spine tingling. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I am trying to be a team player. I am trying to help. So is there anything that could help us alleviate some of the stress? And at this rate, I would love to be able to have some of my memories wiped from that, but they are necessary for this meeting.
Would you roll perception for me? And while you roll that, I'll kind of tell you what he's doing. He gets up and tea's probably steeped long enough, so he pours some into a cup for both of you and asks if, and shows you like where the sugar lumps are, cream if you like that, or if you're a lemon person, or kind of honey or anything. And all of it is really nice. I would say without even a roll, you're able to tell that the like tea setup that he has is just like super antique, but it's not, from the way he dresses, it's nice, but it's not something that you're like, oh, a rich person went and bought really like an antique, super wealthy thing. It's not like that. It's more almost something you would consider like that maybe Granny Tia has something similar, like a thing that's been passed down from family is kind of the idea you get of it. And it's on kind of one of those like rolly bar cart type things. And so you'll notice that even without that, it's possibly like more like a family heirloom that he has that he's drinking tea out of versus like I'm insanely rich. Mind you, you're in basically like the Beauty and the Beast castle of the huge fire. So you can tell this man still has money. It's not like he's not giving you poor all of a sudden. Don't make that mistake. How'd you do on perception?
She got a 15.
Okay. I will say you probably, as he gets up to like pour tea, you will notice that like from what he looked like before, like his hair is disheveled. And he looks like he has a little bit of like baggy under eyes. And you would probably be able to guess that your call woke this man up while he was sleeping. And he still took the time to like fly over or appear at your window for whatever reason. You don't know why, but you would at least kind of gather that for whatever it was, he figured that it was important enough to not only answer, but like fling himself over to you quickly. I don't know why I said fling, but get to you quickly. And he has the ability to seemingly get places very fast all the time. So he'll kind of pour you your tea and point out where everything is and just say, right, I had a plan that either myself or Leland or one of the other people I've worked with would be able to get into the college. Unfortunately, Glinda, who you might not remember well from therapy, but you remember well from the bar, cannot make it past 7:30 in the morning without being blackout drunk. The people she lost in the cataclysm have kind of led her to believe that alcohol is the way that she can deal with it. And when no one believed her right off the bat in therapy, that she was convinced that it was a conspiracy by the government to disappear everyone and that it wasn't actually an incident, when people didn't want to believe that, it kind of broke her. Glenda's not terrible. She's psychotic. Don't try and make friends with her. Just be nice to her if you see her. She is insane, but she does her best. We weren't able to get in, and I've told you all that Lim wasn't Lim, as somehow people are being replaced. I have been working to figure that out. It is slightly more difficult than you realized. I have been expending all of my resources that I have access to figure out exactly what is happening to these people. It's not like it's just a weird clone. It's not like it's some weird magic illusion that they're there. These people fit right into society. And even I, in all of my weird telepathic things you mentioned, have yet to been able to fully identify people right off the bat. It takes a bit, which is why I didn't approach any of you quickly. That's not the full reason, I'll be honest with you, Siddy. You seem relatively nice and somewhat together at sometimes. Your friends Charlie and Ami are fucking insane. Charlie is going to get herself killed very quickly with her attitude. I think Everett was the only one who picked it up. I know that she is young. She doesn't realize who is after her. And until she gets her shit together, she won't live through that. And that is not something that I can intervene with. No matter what you think about me, I might not have the care for all of you that I do for Everett. I'm not going to tell you why I have that or what it is. That's Everett's story to share with you, just like I would not ask you to tell me information about your ex unless you want me to kill him, or about you and Julian Sterling's soon-to-be hot dish. And I hope that's a special hot dish you two share together. Anywho, I will say...
Have you ever seen the movie They Came from the Pod People? It's an old movie from like a couple decades back. Granny Tia had me watch it. It's like a B rating, where they had these giant bean pods and the aliens would put the person in the bean pod and then it would sprout a bit and then a pretty much identical person would pop out, but they could control them. And the only way you could tell it was them was that they had this teeny tiny curl of a bean sprout hidden in their hair.
He is going to look at you so baffled and be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen anything like that. And aliens? Are you meaning like someone from a different plane? I don't. Possibly. You've lost me.
Well, you said that they were being replaced and you didn't know how they were being replaced. And this was the first thought that came to my head about any knowledge I had about replacing people.
Right. I don't think that people have bean sprouts coming out of their heads. I have helped remove a few of them. And in all honesty, the only way I have found that they don't get back up is if you burn them after you kill them. And you have to fully burn them. Otherwise, they seem to return the next day. It's all I've learned so far. I am not opposed to sharing information with you all. I am opposed to having a conversation with people who constantly berate me, talk to me like I'm less than them, or imply that I am completely untrustworthy. I have been honest with you all, but having conversations with three of you at that bar was so difficult that I almost had to kill one of you, just out of the purpose that if she spoke one more time, I thought the only way to relieve my rising blood pressure was to murder her. That wasn't you, if that's helpful. You were annoying, but you weren't that bad. We're getting off topic. This isn't what I was trying to say. I was trying to tell you that I told you all that I would help you to the best of my ability. My ability is not infinite, but I am happy to discuss things. As for the hand that you have, knowing your Granny Tia, she probably has a good idea exactly what it is already and just isn't commenting on it. The advice that I could give you is I am assuming one of you was smart enough to put it on ice so it didn't begin to deteriorate too soon. If you happen to meet someone who has a way to prevent decay, it might be good. Hands on ice, I mean, you got a few days before it's going to rot. You go in there tomorrow. I think you'll be fine. Burn the thing when you're done. Leland is not one of them, but you know what I mean? Either burn it or feed it to something. Get rid of the hand when you're done so no one thinks that you cut a man's hand off. You don't want to be caught with that, especially with wizards kind of with the SWU thinking you're being shifty. I would recommend that part of things. And the other advice I have is probably trusting one another and maybe take the time to pull your fucking heads out of your ass and actually listen to not only each other, but also listen to people who you genuinely think are trying to help you. Even if you don't like them, no one has to like me. That's not my goal in life. I do have the goal, however, to stop what is going on because something really fucked up is happening. And the problem is we don't know who all we can trust yet. And I, unfortunately, am now in the situation that I have added 4 new people to a very small group who knew what was going on, and we were able to act very incognito, if you will. We were much more difficult to discover, and now we have 4 people added to that group, and I'm not saying that the 4 of you aren't exactly obvious, but you're not exactly quiet, and you do have a tendency to make a scene.
Maybe we can use that to your benefit, though, because we both know Everett is quite stealthy. So if everybody is looking at me, then maybe she can accomplish this task that you need done. I know I can make it.
One option that I think you might appreciate knowing. Leland himself used his hand because it's a way that no one could get into his hidden office. Now, for getting through the college, I don't think you'll have a hard time. You brought up suggestions of even acting like Army's aunt or something. I don't think it's weird. Charlie is young enough to tour it as well, and Everett could be an older sister, friend, or something going with her. Getting in won't be difficult because none of you are on the radar. You just got to sneak past some people and get down the hallway into his office. I can't tell you what they have done in there, so just be on your guard when you're in there. Leland didn't do anything. His hand was enough to protect it because it has to be his actual hand to do it. It needs to be something that could read as him to get in, so they can't get into his hidden place. But I can tell you all, if you simply work together, maybe put some smiles on your faces and act like you're just excited to go look at a college, you could probably walk through the front fucking doors and no one's going to stop you. It's an active school. That part won't be the challenge. The challenge you're going to face is if someone catches you in there, or if people realize what you've got. The information that he has in there that literally proves, like on a mathematical and magical scale, that what happened is not possible by an explosion, is something people can and will kill for quickly. That is the time that you must all work together and stop splitting up. For fuck's sake, stop splitting up, stay together, work together. You're a party. Be a party. Maybe none of you wanted this, but unfortunately you have this now, and some of you are younger and some of you are older and some of you might end up acting like mothers to people. And I really hope that you're not the one who gets stuck with Charlie. And if you are, just slap her in the face when she's acting like such a rancid bitch. just do it. It's okay. You like, just say you needed to be shook out of it. Give it a slap and say, listen, Charlie, you've gone too far. And that's that. I also might have pissed her off by the fact that now she can hear those dead Nothics. She deserved that, though, because she was horrible.
You feel a little better now that you've been able to vent that. Has your blood pressure been able to drop?
Honestly, my blood pressure began dropping when I was lucky enough that Everett said she would go on a date with me. And I am trusting that she's going on a date with me as an actual date and not her trying to ring me for information.
With a natural 20 in insight, can Siddy just say, so you have very strong feelings for her and you want her protected, but there are some aspects, such as going to the college, that you can't do that.
Have I not said that already?
I know.
Okay. But I don't know if I just don't understand like your generation and how it works, but I feel like I'm telling you the truth. And you could tell with the nat 20, he's not lying about what he's saying about anything. He's being honest. And he's like, I don't, like, I feel like with all of you, no matter what is said, you are more interested in finding out if I'm lying to you than I'm not. I'm not lying to you. I have actually surprisingly told you the truth. Shockingly, I keep telling the truth and you keep kind of not trusting me, which makes me not want to trust any of you. And as for Everett, do not push her in a corner and let her tell you what she wants to tell you. She is aware of my feelings. And yes, those are my feelings. And Obsidian, Schmidt, as much as I respect your Granny Tia, if you try to leverage Everett against me or hurt her in any way, or any one of your friends tries to do that, I will destroy your whole fucking world. And I don't just mean the people you know. I mean, I will blow up everything in that world. Do not hurt Everett. She means a lot to me.
She means a lot to me, too. She's my friend. It may not be a romantic love, but it is still a platonic love. So why would I do anything to her?
Takes like a slow breath, and he's like, the way you phrased that after experiencing my time with you, Ami, and Charlie in the bar has me a little bit on edge with my ability to trust the three of you. And since it's been a series of veiled threats and implications that you would like to hurt me, you learning that the way to hurt me would be by hurting Everett makes me worry that you might think that's an option to take. And I want you to know that is not an option to take.
I know it's not an option to take. That is why I need to make sure that Everett is more so protected then, because my Granny Tia always said that if you have the power to tell the truth, then you are the most powerful being in the room, because you do not fear what the truth reveals. So you are being truthful. That means you are the most powerful being in the room. And I am trying my best to trust you. It is hard. It was a long day. I don't like being threatened. You don't like being threatened. We got off to a bad start. But I am willing to try to be as trusting as I can and open as I can.
I think he sits down and like genuinely just like laughs, like from the belly type of laugh, which is not something you would expect this man to do. And he just kind of laughs for a bit and he's like, Tia has always been such a fun one in my mind. She has always made me giggle. Her little statements are always something that I've appreciated. And she has a good point. You have learned and you will continue to learn a lot from your grandmother and a lot about her over time. And I'm really excited for all of that to happen. I think it'll be wonderful for everyone. And if you're ever bored, maybe one day, just ask your Granny Tia how often she's the one in the room telling the truth. And he like gives you a wink and then you're back in your bed with your sending stone in your hand. And after that, we're going to roll our die to see who we're going to jump to next. Now that Siddy is in bed. Well, I can't roll a 3 again because that was Siddy. So let's try that again. Everett, you're up. You have just found this written on there. On your wall. This is where you're at. You're kind of getting ready for bed. You've seen this written on your wall. All of these things are happening kind of simultaneously. I will say that we're going through here. Mm-hmm.
So Everett, being the paranoid motherfucker that she is, has a panic room in the basement. So she heads to the panic room and locks herself in. And then she's actually going to shift into Jack because Jack is innocent. And we kind of talked about this off screen before we started, that Styx keeps him separate from the scary and the traumatizing and the horrible things that goes on with the other personas. He can access that, but for the most part, I think she tries to shield him. So when she is scared and overloaded, like she is after today, and after like this final straw, she kind of reverts to Jack as like a safe place and compartmentalizes everything bad that's happening just so that she can like take a deep breath and relax and try and get some sleep as Jack, because he is a naive little puppy, blissfully unaware of the horrible, awful things and the danger that they are in.
Excellent. So Jack is down the is there a bed in the panic room, or is it just straight on the floor with a blanket? Okay, I was just curious if we're like in a closet or.
No, so. It's a nice panic room. There's like a little like kitchenette kind of almost, and a bed. So she and the rations, like they could in theory hang out down there for like a day or two.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So Jack, we go into Jack, and Jack goes into bed. I'm assuming we need to get Jack a puppy, I think is what Jack needs in life. All right. Jack is being the we're not going to admit that we've had some trauma part of Styx's brain. And we will then move on to, winner, chicken dinner. Ami, we're going to jump on to you. You have recently had a conversation with a woman sitting at your kitchen table as you were simply trying to bring in your tea setup from outside after Seymour had left. She was offended that you didn't invite her in, and she said she was here to talk with you about some things, and she is just patiently waiting and smiling.
Well, I believe if we recall from our last conversation, their words, never want to see you again, and don't step foot in my house, were uttered by someone. And yeah, that would have been you.
Oh, so, no, I know.
I don't know why would I invite you. If you won't allow me in your home, I allow you in mine.
You still haven't grown up at all. I really thought we raised you better than that. That's so sad. You even run a business, and look at how you, behave. She just sits there,
Wynn, dear, you were not invited in my home, so technically you are breaking and entering. I could right now call the police. How's that for being adult?
Do. Please, call them. The ones that I paid, 40,000 gold this morning for you and your friends to have an attorney to get the police off of you? Would you like to call the Special Wizards Unit and let them know that you're getting really angry and possibly going to get, a rage? Is that what you call it? At your own mother who just came to check on you after finding out you were going to go to prison? That sounds like a fun idea.
Concern.
I mean,
what do you want?
Well, you are half mine, and I simply wanted to come by to remind you I've set flyers all over the city about that little family trinket that you're so obsessed with to try and get your attention just to contact me, which you've chose not to. I simply wanted to come by and give you this. And she hands you an envelope that is insanely nice. It is all black and it has like a red kind of wax seal like stamped into it with like what you recognize as her new family's like seal, her new husband's seal. And yeah, and she like looks at it and she's like, I only wanted to bring this to you, and now it's going to be so strange because it's so late, but do you want to open it? It's a wonderful thing.
And Ami's going to just kind of sit there and look at her for a couple of moments because she really is debating, is it worth going to prison? there's a moment in her mind that it's just like,
I get it.
And then she says, so if I take this envelope, does it have anything that would some sort of like keep me connected to you in any way, or have some sort of legal obligation to you or anything like that?
It's an invitation, simply in an envelope. You just have to open it. There's no legal obligation. They all look like that. That's all it is.
Okay, so Abby will like hold out her hand.
She'll give her she'll just hand it to her and then just kind of look at her and say, are you going to open it now? It's not a bomb. If it was, I would have left.
Do I need to open it in front of you?
I think that would be so kind if you did. I mean, I haven't seen you in years. I would love that.
You want kindness from me. That is, as they say, rich coming from you. Because that's the one thing you've been most poor of in your entire life. Kindness.
I see.
Yeah, I will open it right now.
Wow.
And so she opens the letter.
Perfect. You have a letter in there, and it is an invitation. It is an invitation for a dinner tomorrow night, hosted by her and her family. And your name is listed as one of the family members on the guest list that will be there, presenting this new exciting news that her and her family is sharing with the city. And she kind of smiles at you and she says, I really hope that you have time to get a lovely outfit for it, as it will be one of the more noble things. Per your attorney's request, I made sure to add the +3 for 2 of your friends and one of their dates. One of them's already taken care of. She has a date there. And if it makes you feel any better, I know that the butt wipes and Seymour will be there as well, sitting at the same table. And then she just gives you like the most innocent smile and like eye wink and says, I really look forward to seeing you there. You're absolutely going to be so happy to hear what your family's doing for the city. And then she just kind of like saunters her way to the door and opens it. And this rain is coming down like crazy at this time. And there's a gentleman kind of standing off your porch with like an umbrella who escorts her to a carriage. And she gets in. And as she gets in, she does one of the little toodaloos and blows you a kiss. And then just hops in and turns her face away stoically as they start to ride off. It's a beautiful invitation.
As she starts driving off, she's like,
I mean, I won't tell you what Wender's doing in there. So you've now been invited to a dinner. Not only invited to a dinner, you are listed as one of the attending family members of the dinner for tomorrow night. And you have been told that there's room for 3 to be invited, 2 of your friends and a date if they choose one. One of your friends will not need an invitation as they already have secured one. She didn't tell you who. So after we've made it through that, what does Ami do? Is Ami going to head to bed?
Before Ami goes to bed, because she doesn't like going to bed angry, and she is angry, frustrated, not to the point of rage, obviously, but because that's something that she has been working on in these 5 years. I mean, she has really been working on her rage with Lemmy. And so she goes into her living area and she sits down actually on the floor to kind of like literally ground herself. And she just kind of does some like breathing and like thought exercises of You are not your family. You are not your family. You create your family. Family is heart. You can build a new heart. You can love. You are good enough for love. You deserve love. And no one can take your love away from you. And so she kind of like repeats that over and over and does her little breathing thing that she was doing with Everett. I'm not going to repeat that here because they have to pay more for that. So I'm just joking.
Right.
So yeah, so then she goes to bed after that.
Do we need to put up another notice on our episodes at this rate?
I'm just saying that, you know.
All right. Last but not least, once again, this was actually dice, not by my choosing on this time. We are going to go to Charlie. So.
Hello.
Charlie, you've heard a knock at your door.
That's right. Charlie is processing a lot that is happening within the last 20 minutes of being home. And she just silently goes to the door and opens it and just is like, what?
You see, again, this rain has kind of rolled through the city, like I said, and like the water's kind of running down the roads. The first thing you see is what looks a lot like, I'm going to think of it like a Mary Poppins bag is sitting like on your steps, kind of like on the stoop where you walk in, and leaning up against the wall, you see what looks like a tall quarterstaff. And the quarterstaff itself doesn't seem like anything insanely special, but someone has like bedazzled it basically in a way. There's like trinkets hanging off of it, so on and so forth. It's just very extra. And that is the first thing you see. And then as you kind of look out into the street, you see what appears to be a very tall and very skinny woman who seems to be having the most amazing time dancing in the rain. You notice she is wearing a dress that seems much too cold for this. It has just kind of these like skinnier straps. It is like tulle is what I'm thinking. And it's greens and kind of these like purples of like tulle put together. She is completely barefoot. And you notice she has this like, she's tall. She's got to be like almost 6'5". And she has this insanely long kind of curly hair that is an almost like purple. And through it, you see these flowers just kind of that have been woven through her hair. And she is just like holding her dress and kind of dancing and spinning in circles. And when you say what, this lady will turn around, and the easiest thing to notice on her is she is quite pretty, but her eyes have this weird kind of effect where they don't seem to stay one color. They almost have this like iridescent color to them as they move. And she smiles and she goes, "Oh my goodness, have you thought about coming out and dancing in this rain? This is such a lovely evening. Oh, I'm so excited to be here. Hi, I'm so sorry, Charlie. You took a while to get downstairs, so I thought I would just spend a little time dancing. I have not been in the rain like this for so long that it is never cold where I am from. I love it. I don't like that I love all of these buildings. There's a lot of buildings around here, but this is a beautiful place." And she's going to come up and like put her hands up and be like, "I am so excited to meet you in person. And I am so sorry. Honestly, you know what? No, we need more than that." And she's going to bring you in for a hug, and just like this nice hug. And again, she is very tall and she is slender, and she just like brings you in for a hug. And she's like, "I am so sorry that I am coming here on such terrible circumstances. This is not how I wanted this to happen. Volty and I were hoping that you and I would meet under better circumstances. However, I was sent here and I haven't been here very long, and I really like this rain. This is so nice out here. Anyways, I'm here because I was sent here quite specifically to help you. I was told," just kind of freezes, "wait, No, yes, I was sent here to help you. I know that much. It might be in my bag. Hold on, honey. And she like unzips her bag and starts like rifling through it. And it is like a Mary Poppins bag. There's so much stuff. And she pulls out a journal, like this big like notebook, and kind of flips through like just page after page after page. And she's like, oh, yes, there it is. I was sent here by the court to go on ahead and help you because your mother has become a problem that we're going to go on ahead and deal with. I'm so sorry. I am so rude. I have some memory issues because I have spent time in places I wasn't supposed to be. My name is Astrid, darling, and I am just so incredibly excited to meet you. Is it okay if I come in? I'm not a vampire. I could walk in, but that seems really rude, and I wouldn't want to do that to you. Wait, my friend Ray told me I'm supposed to tell everybody this when I first meet them. I have abilities that I have memory issues because I've been in the wilds for too long, and I do not have what most people call an inner monologue. So I'm supposed to tell everybody that before I meet them. Again, my name's Astrid. I am really excited. I'm so excited to be here. And I thought that we could just have some food. I know that you've got a friend upstairs doing some work on some things, and I want to I'm just happy. I know I'm not supposed to be happy because this is a sad time. So I'm sorry to show up happy. I would like to be sad. I need to be sad. It's really hard for me to feel what I'm supposed to feel because part of the thing that happened with my brain is my emotions don't work right. So like sometimes when I'm happy, I break down crying, and other times when I'm sad, I laugh a lot. So anyways, can I come in and I can go ahead and make us something to drink, and then maybe we can talk? I have some notes on what I'm supposed to do about your mother. She just smiles really big. She's still hugging you. Like after she's grabbed the book, she's brought you right back into a hug.
Charlie is standing there kind of frozen because that was a lot of information. And she just says, I mean, I guess that's all right. What? You're going to take care of my mother? Hold on. And how do you know? I got so many questions, but I guess you can come in.
Oh, that's real nice. I love that. Oh, thank you so incredibly much. I love it. Oh, my goodness. Valti showed me the store a few times, and I absolutely love all the fun things that you have in here. It is really quite beautiful. All of the things that you have, and I could maybe help you. So I promise Valti. So I don't know if you know this, but Valti didn't have any children. So with Valti, we had a contingency plan. If Valti passed, I would come in her place to help keep you safe. And there's some other things involved right now. I have them written down somewhere because I don't remember. She's kind of like goes into like Windows 95 again for a second. She's like, anyways, the deal was if anything happened to Valti, I'm supposed to know the phrase pancakes means you come in safely, and fucking pancakes means I kill whoever comes in. Now, I don't use knives a lot. I, however, can call lightning down on any single person who looks wrong at us, especially if it's raining outside. I can make it real nasty if you need me to. But my thought was I promised Valti that I would help. And then it just so happened that like one of the mistresses at the court told me that I also had to come here because there's something to do with your mother and what your mother is and some things like that. And anyways, were you thinking that you wanted me to make you something to eat? Does that sound nice?
I don't know what I want. Truth be told, I guess just come in and do what you want. I have a lot of questions, and we'll have to get to those.
She smiles so big, and she's like, I can come in and do whatever I want. Oh, my goodness, this is going to be amazing, and you are going to love this. And then she just, like, skips in with her Mary Poppins bag and, like, grabs her quarterstaff, and all of a sudden you just see her begin dancing through the whole entire place and singing various songs. I cannot sing her favorite song. Specific people in this party know what her favorite song is, but it involves her wanting to dance with someone really bad as she begins to cast things like druidcraft and various other things to where she just starts sprucing the place up and cleaning and casting mending on things and starts dancing through. And she's like, this place is so incredibly beautiful. I bet it is going to look amazing when I get all of the flowers in here. And oh my goodness, I remember that your friends are coming over in the morning and you should probably get some sleep. And once you get some sleep, you'll wake up and we'll see all your friends and I will have breakfast made. And oh my goodness, I am going to make flower crowns for every single one of you. And they're going to be beautiful. And that is what we're going to call our first session.
Thank you for tuning into Good Plans, Bad Dice. This series stars Sassypants as Ametria, Ami, Bella Chathorn, Mossgrove. Squishy Werewolf as Obsidian Siddy Schmidt, Trekkie for Life 01 as Charlie Blackwood, Weird is All I've Got as Everett, and lurkingSam as the Dungeon Master. Good Plans, Bad Dice would like to thank Squishy Werewolf for the artwork. Our music is provided by No Copyright Songs. The track is Help Me, Help You by Shia Maisel and Clarks, and can be found at ncs.io or at their NCS YouTube channel. Thank you again for listening. Be sure to check us out live on Twitch Friday nights at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time or on video on demand after the live broadcast.